case he loses.
Just in
But
case.
anyway.
Just in case, just in case. Well, what are the odds? Let's find out, as it is Degalla versus SBF. These two not actually having a set history, but there is a little bit of history in the sense that both of these players are somewhat used to these characters. So, for example, SBF actually feels very confident in this matchup. He said, sort of half-jokingly, this is the 1+1 Wario matchup. Which, you know, I think is a fairly controversial.
I definitely like SBF sometimes could be a bit of a Wario naysayer, but yeah, this is definitely a matchup he is used to. There's a fair few sort of Greninja players that he has faced in the past, especially around the UK scene as well. So definitely something to see. But I feel like what's more interesting as well is obviously SBF has been away from the game for a little while.
Oh yeah.
He hasn't been playing, but he's been taking a sort of a break, but finally coming back into it from Invasion. And I feel like all eyes are definitely going to be on him because, of course, he's one of those players that has always been up there as one of the top echelon UK players.
Absolutely.
And now coming into it, it's going to be interesting to see kind of how he does.
Yeah, you'll seldom see a top 5 UK that does not include SBF, but obviously Degalla, very veteran, all right, knows what he's doing, and going to see if they can push it. Looking fairly even so far as Rebecca's coming off stage. Where we're going to have to recover. There's no bike left as he does make his way back. That was very cheeky, caught by the wind box, I think.
Yeah, making it back and actually really sort of paying off for him as well, giving him a good angle to escape anything from Degalla. But these two will keep very, very close to the forward air, is going to connect, take that stock away, and Degalla holding onto a thin lead, but a lead nonetheless.
Yep, and SBF with a very cheeky gamer lean right there. All right, maybe taking this one a little bit too unseriously. Going to see if he can bring it back as the grab comes through, but Degalla doing all they can to score a little bit of extra credit as a parry comes out. Very stylish, but not netting you much profit there, fella. So we off stage.
There we go. The forward air going to take it away. And of course, we always have to talk about the ever-present, the intimidating threat of the certain waft on Wario.
Oh, yeah.
As time passes, the longer this takes, the scarier it gets for Degalla. You cannot forget about that waft. It is always going to be there, and it's going to be a threat to you if you let it connect.
Very, very true. Going to see if you can avoid it, obviously. Degalla slowing it down a little bit, just waiting for an opening, waiting for an approach. As you can see, Wario is glowing at something solid right there. At least I hope it's solid when it comes out, as going to seem a little bit more neutral right now. Playing nice and safe, but a couple of nairs coming out. There's a classic little combo! There she goes.
And that's what we're talking about, because if you let it connect, it's going to spell bad news as he does just toot on you and take away that stock. And now what was looking quite strong for Degalla has completely flipped to SBF, holding on to a lead, and of course that up air connect and get a little bit more damage on him as well. SBF starting to run away with this one, but Degalla really needs to try and find his stock.
Absolutely, they can find something cheeky if they find a way in, but now it looks like SBF is playing a little bit more reactionary. Going to make their way back to the stage. Ooh, a little bit of a mix of us trying to catch him with a hitbox there, but the attack is going to force him back. Ooh, Degalla sending him off with a forward air. I like the high recovery, caught in the hitbox of that there bike.
I do like that Degalla recognized it was high recovery as well, so trying to go up there, but of course only hitting the bike. Still on the hunt for the stock as well, but SBF is just playing this so perfectly right now. 122 on Degalla right now, still no sign of taking the stock, but the dash is just going to connect. The shoulder barge to the face is going to seal up game one for SBF.
And I feel like this happens a lot with top players. You know, I thought that we even saw it a little bit earlier if you were watching the Hyder and Shanique set. In the fact that when you're going up, when it's the sort of David versus Goliath kind of thing, and you're going up against this really, this upper echelon, high tier player, you always actually have a really good start. And that happened there. Degalla was running away with it, took the first stock, but it's that adaptation that the top players just have under their pocket, all right? It's just something they pull out, and suddenly it's flipped around before you can even know what happened. As a little bit of a skin switch, we are moving back in. Small battlefield right here.
Yeah, and of course, as you can see, and as you've seen from Wave A, today out Invasion, all sets are best of 5 every single
Best of 5?
Runner. All best of 5 to the very, very end. Don't worry, we're not going to be putting any shenanigans with best of 7 grands or anything. It is just best of 5, all of today, all of tomorrow. But of course, that does mean there is extra chances for these players to make these comebacks. They could go 2-0 down and still make that comeback. We've seen it many times already today. And so we could see it again. Hell, we could even say it happened technically with Bloom Monday, because Bloom did go 2-0 down.
You could say that. You could say that.
It didn't really feel like a 2-0 down, but the score said it was.
Yeah, that's true. And this is not looking too healthy right now. 1.5% on SBF. Feeling so sweet right now as an up special, just keeping Degalla on the back foot. You have to try and find a way. And Degalla trying to use those slightly disjointed Cordes to make him way back into the game, of course, but it's just not quite enough. Wario may look stubby, but my goodness, has he got some very big, challenging hitboxes to beat out a lot of Degalla's nonsense as the bike is here. Trying to pick it up, just gives his bike a little bit of a slap as the tilt's coming through. Good jump out of disadvantage as well.
Yeah, and I really like what Degalla's trying to do here, just kind of sneaking his way in. He's still playing very, very carefully, recognizes that he's at quite a deficit. I mean, SBF has only taken 20%, still all 3 stocks. So this is a terrifying position to be in for Degalla, but he's just really trying to play it carefully. Ooh. But SBF saying, listen, I'm already in your head. I'm reading what you're going to do. I'm going to throw that bike up there, connect into you, and take that stock as well. Degalla needs to try and get something started here because it's just looking like a mountain to climb now.
Yeah, I've got to say, SBF playing incredibly well against the projectiles, just not letting Degalla get any pressure off of them, just perfectly shielding them every time, knowing exactly what the spacing is to make sure they don't do any damage.
Oh.
But my goodness, a sub 53 stock from SBF. That's why he is the king of the North, I do want to say.
It's kind of what you talked about in Game 1, about how these top players, they can sort of start off and things look a little bit kind of shaky.
Looking good.
And then just as time passes, they start to warm up, the engine gets going, and then they just go into an entirely new gear. And that's kind of what we're seeing. That Game 1 was certainly close, but that Game 2 did not look it.
And look at the camera. SBF has dropped the gamer lean. All right, he's not leaning so far now. You've got to beat him back to that position. You've got to make him lean in as another one of the skin switch. We are back to SBF, but SBF himself is already opening up with an up special out of shield. Finally getting nabbed by one of those projectiles, but not going to net any advantage whatsoever. That's a perfectly fine trade as looking a little healthier for Degalla right there. Good spacing to get the tilt out.
Yeah, the back is trying to connect. Degalla just trying using all these very safe aerials that Greninja does have, but of course SBF finds a way in, connects into the up air. There's 60% on him already. Just going to connect into that mouth as well, just sealing the whole fucking side of him. And of course, Degalla just trying to find a way in, get something going. Again, SBF is just playing very, very sort of defensively, finding his openings and then just capitalizing them incredibly hard.
Doing very well. Can't really catch him with a tilt, but a great read on the roll. Excellent job just forcing Degalla into lousier options as, once again, we've got a little bit of ledge jab going nice and deep as threatening the edge guard, but not committing to it as a drag down comes through. Good lock, sends up once again. Can we see another?
Oh!
Ooh, very close.
And I have to say, actually, Degalla has definitely a single time missed those jab locks. And it's something he's always been very, very sort of proficient in. And even when we're watching sets in other tournaments, Degalla has never missed those opportunities. If he sees it, he will take it. And certainly, he is fighting back right now. This is definitely not that Game 2. Degalla is saying, I am not out yet. Do not count me out. I will fight back.
Exactly. We have shown that Degalla can crack the armor. We're going to see if SBF is going to allow him the chance to keep going. As the bikes are flying, all slowed down on the bike outbox. Able to get caught by that up tilt.
Of course, you can see SBF just sort of playing it nice and slow because he recognizes, yeah, I can just wait this out. The longer you take to come to me, the more what charge I get on that waft. And at that point, I think we just saw the glow there.
Excellent timing.
So the waft is online. And of course, now Degalla's got to be thinking, all right, I can't do anything too risky because if he connects one up tilt, one up air, something like that, it could spell disaster.
You can tell that SBF is just going to open up. We've seen those Nair trains so many times.
They call me the Prophet. They call me the Prophet.
What can I say? He knows what he's talking about. All right, as SBF with just some frankly amazing spacing so far. I think one of the main difference makers as well is SBF has really downloaded how Degalla likes to ledge trap and edge guard, and the fact that Degalla loves standing at roll distance and just sort of repeatedly jumping and threatening an option. Yeah. But there are certain options Degalla's just not committing to, and maybe he's just saving it in the back pocket so he can catch SBF off guard. But it allows SBF to go high quite often and avoid a lot of potential follow-up from Degalla's options. Oh, good roll there.
Yeah, I think SBF's starting to catch on to the fact that obviously Degalla's just kind of keeping that shield up a lot, especially when Wario is up close. Just Degalla just trying to sort of play it very slowly. And SBF saying, okay, you know, I see what you're doing. You know, keep that shield up, kind of keeping away from me. I will just find an opening anyway. I'll get those grabs. I'll find a small little sort of touches through the shield and then get my hits in anyway.
I just blew his bike off the cliff.
Yeah.
That's very cruel. My goodness, as definitely feeling it now, bringing it back on. Oh, almost trying to find a spike hitbox on the wheel there, I feel. As the bike comes up, covers an option, going to have to force himself back on stage, going to have to take the L just to avoid the death there. As kept live on the platform, just unable to make it back. So we can go for now. Oh, goes for the drop down, but caught by the dash. And that